Hello, and welcome to yet another thrilling episode of Phone Age News. I'm Nostradamus, and this is going to be the penultimate episode of Phone Age News, as the Doomsday clock ticks ever closer to midnight.
Oh no!
However, I do have a couple of other non-news videos in the pipeline before Mother Nature breathes her last breath. Just gonna pour myself a drink before I get started. Right, ready for action. I opened up the show with a recent blast from Stromboli volcano, which has been spewing out copious amounts of material over recent days, getting ready to decimate the whole of the Mediterranean coast. I just want to draw your attention to all these earthquakes we've had in the last 2 weeks around this volcano, the largest of which was a 2.1 right in the crater of Mount Vesuvius, of all places, showing some activity. That 0.4 kilometre depth. So we're getting some magma movement below Vesuvius. Any of these volcanoes could pop off. Zoom out. Big bugger Vesuvius. That decides to go pop. Will be a bit of trouble. I noticed something a little bit strange the other day when I was checking the latest earthquakes on my phone, so I took a screenshot so I could show you a couple of days ago, and it's all within 24 hours. It's like a perfect circle of earthquakes, and right in the centre of France is a volcano. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So I had to go and check this volcano out, didn't I? Just want to show you the area in question before I bring up the stats. This is in central France. You can see all the craters that have erupted fairly recently, actually, on a geological time scale. Many cones. Look at that one. Bullseye. It would have been. This is where the trees are. Looks like where the lava flows reach to. Interesting. Oh, quite a large volcanic field. How far the lava flow stretched for? Zoom out. Volvic. Is that where the water comes from? The spring water. Volcanic springs. I only just noticed that. The place called Puy de Dôme. Right in the centre of France. So let's pull up some stats. So here we are, we can see it clearly labelled on Volcano Discovery. the Chien de Puy volcano. Massive Central. This volcano is massive. Dormant. 1,464 meters. What does it say about it? Pyroclastic cone. Look at the earth. Oh, we've had earthquakes there. I didn't know that. We had the ones right on the surrounding miles and miles away in the circle, but we've got some right next to it. When was this? That was on the 5th. 0 kilometers. That was on the 8th. 0 kilometers. They're all at the surface. That was on the 9th. I've only just found these. Oh, it's exciting. All 0 kilometer depth, right next to the volcano. Right, let's get into it. Into the nitty gritty. Eruption style explosive monogenetic. Don't know what that means. Latest eruption only 6,000 years ago. That is nothing. Do you know, there's volcanoes everywhere and any one of them could go off unexpectedly. Anywhere. Pyroclastic flows fed lengthy lava flows and Mars. Latest well-documented activity. Who was documenting that 6,000 years ago? Younger tephras. As late as 1,000 years ago? Or they've been discredited? Well, I thought I'd bring that to your attention. Let's see what else I've got for you. Here's a very recent article from National Geographic. Colossal volcano behind mystery global cooling finally found. The eruption devastated local Maya settlements and caused crop failures around the world. The ices of Greenland and Antarctica, as long as they last, bear the fingerprints of a monster, a gigantic volcanic eruption in 539 or 540 AD. I'll make your mind up which one. That killed tens of thousands and helped trigger one of the worst periods of global cooling in the last 2,000 years. Now, after years of searching, a team of scientists has finally tracked down the source of the eruption. Mystery solved. I'll just try and skim through it quick. We found evidence that leads to Ilopango, a now dormant volcano in El Salvador. Expel the equivalent of 10.5 cubic miles of dense rock, one of the largest volcanic events on Earth in the last 7,000 years. 100 times bigger than Mount St. Helens and several times larger than Mount Pinatubo. The new work helps solve a long-time geologic mystery. Historical accounts that date to 536 describe a dark fog that dimmed the sun and ushered in a wave of crop deaths. Until recently, scholars were open to the idea that these clouds were the remains of an asteroid or comet, but modern data confirms that the event was volcanic and that it was two volcanoes up to 4 years apart, not just one. Ice cores from Greenland and Antarctica show spikes of sulfate, a byproduct of large volcanic eruptions at 536 and 539/540 AD. The two volcanoes were so large and so violent they launched sulfur gases and particles miles into the sky. Since this material reflected sunlight away from the Earth's surface, it triggered severe global cooling. One study in 2016 found that the volcanoes decreased average global temperatures by as much as 3.6 Fahrenheit. That's almost 2°C. Crops in northern Europe and elsewhere failed, likely triggering starvation and disease. Though its ties to the volcanoes remains tenuous, the infamous plague of Justinian, which killed tens of millions of people, started in 541 during the worst of the cooling. It's fascinating. There it is, situated on the map, not a million miles away from Popocatépetl. I think Popo could have a big one in it. You never know. That could be the next big one, and there will be another big one somewhere on the planet, because these happen regular, just not on the time scale of a lifetime. We're definitely due one. I mean, we think it won't happen, but it happens all the time. It's just part and parcel of living on planet Earth, and that's what Ilopango looks like today. Huge, massive caldera. You think that's the volcano? No, this is the caldera. The whole lot, 10.5 cubic miles of rock blew out. Just pour myself another drink before getting to this shit. Need a bastard fucking drink. Reading this fucking shit. Hang on. Did you know there's some fires in the Amazon rainforest? Fines for environmental crime drop under Bolsonaro. The record number of fires in Brazil's Amazon rainforest has coincided with a sharp drop in fines for environmental violations, BBC analysis has found. I don't think you need fucking BBC for analyse that. I think you could have guessed it. Official data from Brazil's environmental agency shows fines from January to the 23rd of August dropped almost a third compared with the same period last year. But at the same time, the number of fires burning in Brazil has increased by 84%. It is not known how many of these fires have been set deliberately. I have to take a deep breath. Breathe. But critics have accused presidents, spawn of Satan, Jair Bolsonaro's administration, of greenlighting the destruction of the rainforest through a culture of impunity. Mr. Bolsonaro has sent in the military to help put out the fires. Here's a picture of it. after coming under pressure from the international community, saying he wanted to help protect the Amazon. Oh, bless him. The largest rainforest in the world, the Amazon, is a vital carbon store that slows down the pace of global warming. It is known as the lungs of the world and is home to about 3 million species of plants and animals and 1 million indigenous people. So they may as well just nuke it. Well, that graph says it all, doesn't it? So I've got nothing more to say on the matter. This is just the worst. Man, it's not completely unexpected. You know, still shocking. It's just the way the system works. It's it's the people in developed countries that's caused it. The more demands for consumer goods. Mr. Bolsonaro wants to supply the world with his beef and soya that he's going to grow where the Amazon rainforest used to be. And right now, at this minute, the G7 is discussing boycotting all trade with Brazil and the other 4 or 5 countries where the Amazon covers. So that added to Trump's trade wars around the world. This could just set off the economic collapse that is imminent. Oh, it's not going to be long now.
And now for something completely different.
Now, I'm not going to get into the circumstances of fucking bastards, fucking suicide, but I'm more interested in Prince Andrew's denial. I did not suspect Epstein's behaviour. Prince Andrew has defended his former friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, saying at no stage did he see or suspect any criminal behaviour. During the time I knew him, I saw him infrequently and probably no more than only once or twice a year, the 59-year-old prince said. One has stayed in a number of his residences. At no stage during the limited time I spent with him did I see, witness, or suspect any behaviour of that sort of thing that subsequently led to his arrest and conviction. Fucking hell, come off it! They used to call you fucking Randy Andy back in the fucking 70s! Now this story I thought would be more interesting to look at from an Israeli perspective. Chernobyl on ice. Defiant Russia launches floating nuclear reactor in the Arctics. From the Times of Israel. Environmental groups warn of dangers of unprecedented project, dubbing it a potential nuclear Titanic explosion at test site raises further concerns. They've got a fantastic record. The Russians, the nuclear industry, what are they talking about? Russia launched the world's first floating nuclear reactor on yesterday, sending it on an epic journey across the Arctic, despite environmentalists warning of a Chernobyl on ice. Sounds like a cocktail, that, doesn't it? Go to a cocktail bar. What do you fancy? Oh, I'll have one of them Chernobyls on ice. A bit fizzy, right? Sorry to divert from this story, but my attention has just been drawn to this article over here. Baby elephant rejected by his herd finds an unexpected friend. It was a baby white rhino. Yeah, that was fucking unexpected because they're all fucking extinct. Loaded with nuclear fuel, the academic Lomonosov left the Arctic port of Murmansk to begin its 5,000-kilometre voyage to Pevek in northeastern Siberia. You know, where all the fucking ice has melted, it can go where it wants now. Nuclear agency Rosatom says the reactor is a simpler alternative to building a conventional plant in isolated places where ground is just about still frozen all year round, and it intends to sell such reactors abroad. Well, they know it's melting, so they know they can't build on the ground that's disintegrating. So let's put it on a ship. What could go wrong? The animal kingdom right now on planet Earth is under complete assault from every direction from man. And it upsets me so much. And I stopped reporting on it because I have trouble dealing with it. But this story touched me. Rescued baby sea cow dies with a stomach full of plastic waste. A baby sea cow has died with a stomach full of plastic waste. The 8-month-old dugong was rescued and nurtured by marine experts after it was found lost near a beach in southern Thailand. Sadly, the sea cow, affectionately named Mariam, later died of what biologists believe was a combination of shock and ingesting plastic rubbish. The female dugong, a large ocean mammal similar to a manatee, became a hit in Thailand after images of biologists embracing and feeding her with milk and seagrass spread across social media. Veterinarians and volunteers had set out in canoes to feed Mariam for up to 15 times a day, while also giving her health checks. Last week she was found bruised after being chased and supposedly attacked by a male dugong during the mating season. She was brought in for treatment in the artificial sea on Libong Island in Krabi province. We assume she wandered off too far from her natural habitat and was chased, and eventually attacked by another male dugong as they feel attracted to her. Oh, look. An autopsy showed a large amount of plastic waste in her intestine, which could have also played a part in her death, as it led to gastritis and blood infection. Mariam thought the plastic was food. Poor thing, like everything else. It's all going. Everything's going. Everything's going. And most people don't give a flying fuck. Speaking about people that don't give a flying fuck apart from anybody or anything but themselves, is something from the very observant observer. Trump's bid to buy Greenland shows that the scramble for the Arctic is truly upon us. World powers are racing to exploit the vast untapped resources of the Arctic as global heating opens up a new frontier. What a load of shit that he just wants to get in there and get all that fucking ice out the way. And let's rip Greenland up. Yeah, can't wait, he's rubbing his hands. Taking the piss. Well, he can't, he wants to buy it, but because he knows the ice is going, so then he can set mines and just take all the resources out of Greenland. But in the meantime, sea levels have gone up 8 metres, so all the major American cities are underwater. So you clueless fucking idiot. Pull myself together now. Time for a quick cow fart update. I've not done a methane concentration report for a few weeks. As you can see, it's gone up 16.4 parts per billion over the past 10 weeks. This is at all levels in the atmosphere, a total average of everything. Just practically a straight line increase. However, I want to take a closer look at the higher levels in the atmosphere, particularly at 300 millibars. This is where it collects in the atmosphere, and you can see over the same time period it's gone up by 27 parts per billion, and the latest readings are showing that it's increasing exponentially. Boom. Is it going off? That's the question. Now, I'd like to present a new feature to Phone Age News. Where's Greta? Do you know what? I fucking love this kid. I have so much admiration for her. We're here on, where are we? I don't know where I am. Windy.com. It's showing you the current position. Currently travelling at 4.4 knots. Struggling to get to New York against a strong headwind. And if you click on zoom in, you see these numbers here are reports. I think this is cool. And posting on Instagram and Twitter from the boat. I'm not sure whether you better hear this or not, because I think I turned the sound off. I made that mistake once
Hi
before.
everyone, it's quite bumpy today.
Said it's a bit bumpy today. And so's my
It's a
internet.
bit of a storm crossing the Gulf Stream, but really proud of everyone here. Greta's holding on really well, and only 1,000 miles until New York.
Ooh, size of them waves.
Hello.
Oh, it's still smiling. Still using that poo bucket. Keep going, Greta. Let's just hope New York's still standing by the time you get there. Before I finish up, I'm going to go over to the National Hurricane Centre, see what's going on. It's looking like the 2019 hurricane season, which started with a whimper, may end with a bang. Look at Dorian. Have a look. Wind speed probabilities. Heading straight for Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. This doesn't look good at all. Got this little bugger here, expected to 90% chance of formation into an hurricane. Is it expected to track along the coast of North and South Carolina? I'm just going to have a quick check at the sea temperatures. I didn't plan this as part of my report. I'm just going along as I am. This is maximum temperatures. We're up in the 90s here in Britain, late August for a few days. Oh, fucking lovely. I wanted to look at the sea surface temperatures. I've come here for. Ooh, looks quite warm there, doesn't it? So this formation of thunderstorms expected to form into an hurricane. Oh, it's red hot there. We're into the 30s. I haven't looked at this for a couple of days. Sea surface temperature anomaly. Whoa, look at that round Greenland. Sea surface temperatures, there's a whole degree. If that El Nino had happened this year, we'd have already been buggered by now. I think. Look at it. Look at that. And you've got to appreciate how much energy, actual energy, is in that water. Fantastic amount of energy. Might as well have a jet stream while we're here. Doesn't work very well, Climate Reanalyzer, on my computer. Tick one thing, something else comes up. That's it. Here we go. Oh, it's gone off. Oh, it's come back. Whoa, look at that. Just doesn't know what it's doing, does it? It doesn't know what it's doing. And that controls the weather. Completely cockeyed. Yeah, we're knackered. Oh well, that's heading for the. That's heading for the. That's not going to do much, but probably cause some major flooding. Gonna piss it down there. Eastern Pacific. Anything happening here? Oh, Ivo. Ivo. Where's that going? Alright, Puds. You flea bag. Ah, he's a good boy. Aren't you? He is. He's a bloody nuisance. Yeah. Bloody pest. Bloody flea bag. Central Pacific. Central Pacific. Oh. 10% chance. To the northwest. Gonna piss it down in Hawaii as well. Right, on to my final article. 2 missing after Poland lightning storm that killed 5, injured over 150. 2 children, along with a Czech tourist in neighbouring Slovakia, among the dead. Oh God. They just had this really freak thunderstorm in Poland, up in the mountains. It was really violent, and five people got killed and 150 injured from one lightning storm. They are getting more potent. There's more energy in the storms. It was compared to a terrorist attack. I don't love for seeing that. I'm sorry. I know a couple of kids died and that. That's awful. Really awful. But I love watching thunderstorms. Sound bad. My heart goes out to the families. The Tatra Mountains. Thursday's lightning strikes were the worst accidents in the Tatras since 1937. That same month. when lightning killed 4 people on Guy once. That's the same place. The lightning has struck twice. But it took 82 years. That's some thunderstorm now. I know I may sound heartless at times, but I am and I have been for some time now resigned to the fact that everyone and everything on this planet is about to die. And doing these videos is my way of trying to cope with it all. Maybe in a couple of 100 million years, some plastic eating bacteria will diversify and expand and recolonize the planet. Who knows? But human beings certainly won't be here to witness it. Everything has its time, and for us it's time up, and it's our own doings. But we've caused it to be times up for every bloody other everything else. It's not right. We've even got the mainstream media reporting more and more every day about how bad things are, and they always had that little bit of hopium at the end to avoid mass panic. Oh God, if everyone apart from people like us really knew what was happening, it's too late now. Way too late. The damage is done. I'll try and get me final phone age news 0 hour recording in before everything goes tits up. I'm planning 1 or 2 other videos in the meantime. So until then, just look after yourselves, look after each other, and it's thanks for watching. See you all soon.